Hey guys, so I wanted to put my little 2 cents in about the movie called Sinners. And I forgot when it came out, but I had totally forgot about this movie or whatever. So shout out to my Israelite family for reminding me about this movie. But I wanted to put my 2 cents in. After looking at it, it was a lot of symbolic things. I did have to use AI for like Michael B. Jordan, when I saw that he had a twin in there, and then he was putting flowers like down on the grave of somebody's grave. So I kind of questioned that. So I had to ask AI who was who, which was the twins, was named what. And so it broke that part down so I can fully understand it. And then the blues player, which was their cousin. And I'm not going to spoil it if you want to go see it. Or whatever. But anyways, of course, let me just leave that to myself because I am on a public platform. Don't want to get myself in trouble. But anyways, let me break down what I got out of it. Basically, if you already know you're an Israelite, that helps you to understand what was going on. So like the Edomites that were in there, they were pretty much back in the day when racism was real strong, and it still is today. But it was so symbolic. Like, I'm gonna try to just sum it up the best way I can where it's not boring. Like, different scenes where they turned into vampires. Like, I'm not big on musical or vampires. I don't like stuff like that. But this movie was different because they had my people in there, and it just hit different the way that they went about doing it. And when Michael B. Jordan, which he played a twin, when him and his twin went to go get their cousin, and then they brought a juke joint. They basically brought it in with their own money, him and his twin, from an Edomite. And then that's when things started going wrong after they picked up their cousin or whatever. And their cousin is a blues player, like he plays the guitar, but his father is a preacher. So they started explaining about like how music can be, you know, like demonic and stuff. It was like a lot of symbolization, like when they were inside of the club area. So basically after that happened, they were like on the other side of town, and they picked up the other individual from, I want to say like the location of his house. And his father, I think, was like in the side of a church or whatever. And basically when they went up to the juke joint that they had already had brought, they were getting all the stuff ready for the inside of the building. And they brought other like nationalities with them, like a lady that was Chinese or Asian, and her husband and their child, and they own like everything within the community. Like on every side you saw like Chinese people or whatever, and they own like everything. Guys, I'll be right back because I'm trying to have privacy while I'm talking about this. Okay, so basically my heart wasn't in it because somebody was around me. And anyways, let me get on into it. So basically Michael B. Jordan plays a twin, and as they're gathering up everybody within the community to open up their juke joint that they brought or whatever with their own money, they owned it, they owned the land that it was put on, and they was just talking to the Edomite that they brought it from. And they was saying, if you come up on our property of what we just brought from you, which is now ours, rightfully ours, that we have the deed for, we will shoot you right where you at. So make a long story short, it was so symbolic to people who know they're Israelites and know we supposed to follow the laws, statutes, commandments. It's so important for you to already know who you are. That way you can better understand the movie, because everybody gets different perspectives out of the movie, but I got a lot because I know I'm an Israelite, and it was so symbolic. So what I mean by symbolic is, once they got the juke joint open and they got their cousin who was like the guitar player or whatever like that, Michael B. Jordan, he played, I don't know which one he was, which name he was, because he played a twin, but out of the twins, out of Michael B. Jordan playing twins, one of them was with an Israelite woman, with our own people. And the Bible tells the Israelites we supposed to be with our own kind. We're not supposed to marry other nations. So that was already symbolic, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because his other twin was with a Edomite woman. And back then, like I said, this is an old movie when it was like in the South, when things was like crazy. We still are living in those times, but it was like during the time where it was just evident. And we still do live in this time. It's just a different form and stuff. Anyways, he was with an Edomite. And so the Most High really really show you a lot of symbolism in that, because like when they started turning to vampires, it was symbolic, and it was mainly the Edomites trying to get them to sin, like through the music that they was doing. Like the Asian and Chinese people, they had all kind of stores and shops, and they had the so-called Israelites, so-called blacks, aka Israelites, had to go buy, and Michael B. Jordan and his brother, which was his twin, had to go buy from the Edomite and all other nations. They didn't own anything, but they had, when they did, you know, get their own little piece of land that they own with the Jew joint on it, they had to buy it from an Edomite. So it was so much symbolicness. And when they got everything open, during the time when they was getting everything together, they went to the Asians and asked them for catfish, to fry catfish. They asked them for like all the alcohol that they need to open up the juke joint with. And they was getting all this stuff from them. But the law also say that we don't supposed to eat unclean foods like catfish and many others, like in the book of Leviticus. So that was also symbolic. And so when they were, you know, being involved in these things, they started getting judged. Like it started going to the left. Like things started going wrong inside of the juke joint, where they started turning into the vampires. And these Edomites came up to their door, and the lady named Mary, who's the Edomite, who's with the Michael B. Jordan twin, he was doing wrong. He was breaking the law, because we don't supposed to marry outside our race. So that's what I mean by symbolic. And so when she was in the room with him by himself, he kept pushing her away and saying, hey, I don't want to talk to you. I don't need to be talking to you or whatever, because you know we don't supposed to be talking to each other or whatever like that. Basically, in so many words, because we're two different races, and that's not allowed. And so she got him in the room some kind of way, enticed him, and got him in the room while they were partying and everything in the juke joint. And then she bit him and turned him into a vampire. And then now he was on her side with the rest of the Edomites and non-Israelite nations. And so Michael B. Jordan twin went out with her or whatever. And before he went out with her, she said, I'm gonna kill all of y'all or whatever. Basically like all the so-called Israelites that were inside the juke joint. And said, we all are one. We are all of one. We have heaven here on the earth. And I'm saying to myself, that's another symbolic. Heaven on earth is here for the Edomites and non-Israelite nations, not for us. Our time hasn't came yet. In Ezra, it says they will be the end of the world. We'll be the beginning of it. So that was also symbolic. She came back to the juke joint. But fast forward, after Michael B. Jordan twin got beat, his girl that he was with was an Israelite. He was doing the right thing, so he was like the righteous person out of the twins. So that's symbolic right there. And so he knew to be with his own kind. And so the woman, she was his woman, who's us, she was doing hoodoo, which back then it was called hoodoo, basically aka voodoo. And a lot of our people did that back then, and they still do it today, where, you know, and we don't supposed to do that either. That goes against the law. So that was also symbolic. She tells him, don't touch your brother. Your brother is going to be a vampire, because she already done bit into him. And so he didn't want to hear it. So he seen that she knew what she was talking about, because he got up and said, let me out, bro. I'm not infected. And when they let him out, he tried to bite another person and make them into a vampire. And then some kind of way he got out of the juke joint and went to the Edomite that deceived him. And so that was another symbolic that we don't supposed to talk outside our race. And so that was judgment to the other twin that talked outside his race. That was punishment and judgment. And so when he went along with her or whatever, they said, we are all one. We're going to kill all of y'all. Y'all going to be just like us. And so when you fast forward it today, it's so symbolic because these other nations, they try to get us to sin so we will go to hell with them. Man, I'm not gonna mess up the movie. You can get understanding for what you understand it as, but it was so good. It was so good, like, cause I knew what it all meant. And when they came back to the Jew joint, he tried to get his brother to go on the wicked side, to go to hell with them, and all the people that were in there. But the only two that made it alive was Michael B. Jordan, which was the righteous twin. And but he later died or whatever, but I'm not gonna tell too much rest of the story because he saw his woman or whatever with their baby that also had passed away, and she was like in heaven with all white on, and she was breastfeeding, and she was sitting beside him as he was like shooting up everybody that came on to their property. It's so good. But anyways, he made it out, and his cousin made it out, and his cousin went back to his father's church, and his father told him, bury that guitar, son, and let the evil and wickedness go. So the music was also symbolic that when you make secular music that's not uplifting the Most High, like certain demonic music that is not of the Most High, or demonic music that pushes sex, money, and violence, how it can take over the mind. It was just so much symbolic scenes in this movie. And yeah, basically to sum it up, it meant heaven or hell, aka New Jerusalem and the end of the world of the non-Israelite nations and the Edomite kingdom, and they trying to deceive us to do away with the law and not obey the laws, so we can go to hell right along with them. That's what it all meant. And that the world is going to end soon, and that people are going to be turning into these demons like this, trying to get the Israelites to be with them so they can go to hell with them. But they come to you like a friend, and then when you get deceived, then they show how they look. And that's what the vampire symbolized. Anyways, guys, hope y'all got it and I wasn't boring, and that you fully get it. It just means the end of the world as we know it. And the Israelites, if we hold on and we be righteous and we do what's right and we do the law, statutes, commandments, not letting these other nations deceive us, we will make it to the New Jerusalem. And that's what that movie was all about. I don't care what nobody say. And anybody that's in the same truth as I am and know their identity, know that they're Israelite, know that Israelite is not a religion, but our true identity is a race of people, y'all will fully understand it the same way that I got it. Shalom, guys.